Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this: you are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, oh, I told you they think they're God. I don't think any of the other side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? Hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. I don't think I have any messages or announcements, but if you're looking for a reading, or you want your weekly reading sent to you every week, a week in advance, you can become a Patreon member. And all my information is in the description box below. You can check out my websites. There should be some links up here. I don't know if it's on this side or this side, but there should be some links to contact me as well, for whatever it is you're looking for. I would definitely check out the website. And I also do weekly tarot readings, just to pull on the full and new moon energies or whatever's going on for that week, to see if we can pull out more information or things or possibilities that could be coming up, really for fun, but also to see, what spirit has for you. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if this video resonates, if you agree, disagree. Yeah, man. I'm gonna jump right on in there. So I will be doing the continuing my Moon Through the series, Moon Through the Signs series with Moon in Libra. I do have other I don't know which ones I've done, but you can check out. I have playlists for each one. You can go check those out to see all the other ones that I've done so far. I think I'm doing Saturn next. I haven't done Saturn through the signs yet, so stay tuned for that. But the moon represents your mind, your emotions, the way you think, the way you process your thoughts, how you behave and how you respond to situations. It's also your emotional fulfillment, home, security, because it rules the fourth house. And so these are your roots, generational curses or things that are passed down through generation to generation, nostalgia, memories, um, the past, um, family in general, and things, and your home environment. And it also rules your mother. And so our emotions stem from the survival of childhood or how our home environment was. They become patterns in our adult life. It's our subconscious minds and the things that are kind of pushed back to in the back of our mind, but it's our bottom line and how we kind of conduct our life. It can affect how we express our emotions and how we connect to others and relationships as we get older. Libra rules the seventh house, and it's ruled by Venus, as well as Taurus is also ruled by Venus, right? And so the seventh house is marriage, partnerships, relationships, all relationships, and not just your relationships with romantic partners, but your friends and your relationship to money, to material items, your relationship to yourself and the way you think, your emotions. all relationships, how you relate in general, right? Um, it's also um, legal matters, mentorship, counseling, um, contracts and agreements, and the in the marketplace. I think Libras kind of dominate when it comes to great customer service. I'm pretty sure it was a Libra who came up with the phrase, "The customer is always right." They're very charming in that way, where they can, get somebody to purchase something. They have great sales in that way. Very creative. It's your popularity, your image. Um, yeah. And so your mom is somebody who's probably very elegant. She encouraged you to speak in a particular way, like don't swear, focus on your grammar. And she could have been very soft spoken, especially if you have this in your first house. Um, Libra cares a lot about what other people think of them. Um, um, and like how to speak and present yourself publicly. The moon does rule the public. Um, they typically want people to like them. These are the people pleasers. I really hate that term as a Libra rising, but I also have Pluto in Libra and Mars in Libra in my first house. So naturally, those things really don't apply to me. I can care less about what people fucking think. But again, I do attribute that to somebody who's really good at customer service. So listening to what people want and being able to provide that as a service, I think is a better way or another way to look at that, right? Because I think both are true. I do know some Libras that really are very superficial that way, where they care about what people think and they'll go out of their way to do things in a way to make other people feel comfortable, almost to their detriment, where they're not taking care of themselves. And so it's important to make sure you're mindful of that and creating balance, right? Libra rules balance. So it's okay to want people to like you, but for the right reasons and making sure you're being true to your authentic self. Your mom might have been laid back, keeps her hair did, um, and has a lot of class. And so these are things that Libra moons can typically pick up and um, carry into their adult life. Um, on the flip side to that, your mom could have been very judgmental. And so you can be judgmental too, I think, because Libra rules judges, state judges, Sag is federal judges, right? And Libra is like the state system, court system. So because Libra rules that, they make judgment calls, right? And so being judgmental is just a lower expression, but on the higher expression, these people make good decisions despite, the people pleasing aspects of them. Again, it's always going to, um, you know, be so more so about what house your Libra moon is in and what other planets are aspecting that moons that really can show whether you're going to be on the higher side or the lower side of that. Um, but your mom might have been very decent, not vulgar, and takes care of her family in the same way. Um, And I feel like Libra moon moms are very intellectual. They teach through telling you stories and things that they've experienced, and that's how they show love and give back. It might not be so mushy or even hugs and kisses or the nurturing piece, but intellectual, teach everything that your mom knows, you're going to know. Whatever knowledge your mother possesses, she's going to teach you. And that's her way of showing that she loves you, being honest about that as well. And a lot of things that people, a lot of parts about Libras that people, most people don't talk about is in mythology, the astrology of mythology. You know, Libra Venus is the devil's wife, and so there is a very hardcore um, kind of I can really give a shit energy to Libra that most people miss because they don't look at all aspects of astrology. And I tend to think of that part of Libra as the fighter, you know, somebody who will go out and fight for justice or social injustice or protest, and not really give up when they feel like they're being unjust in some kind of way, especially with Aries on the opposite end of that, you know, depending on what you have in that opposite house. Um, you really don't like a lack of fairness. You know, you're going to fight for somebody to treat you the way you feel you need to be treated, right? Um, and also, you know, there's a darker side to Libra when you're talking about the devil's wife, which is Pluto, by the way, right? And so these could be very darker type themes that Libras are into, or even thoughts, because we're talking about the moon that they have when they felt like they're done wrong in some kind of way. Um, and they give judgment calls and make judgment calls. Um, these people can cut you off. They can be very cold, coarse, and direct and blunt. Um, yeah. Um, I think vulgar is a pretty damn good way to describe that. But, you know, I think they do enjoy alone time. As much as they'll say Libras tend to like to want to be up underneath somebody. And there's a part of that, again, that is very true. But, you know, speaking from the mythology piece about part of it, they really don't like to be bothered at all or be up underneath people at all, especially if you're not intellectual and intellectual, if you can't teach them anything, if you're not coming with the truth, um, and you don't if you don't take accountability for your actions and the things that gotten you into the positions in your life that you you know that are bestowed upon you, and you're kind of like a complainer or things of that nature, it really irritates the fuck out of Libras. And I think people don't talk about that enough. Like, we could care less, but we will listen. You will never know. Be very mindful. These people do believe in keeping the peace. These people are very intelligent. And they're very emotionally intelligent and tend to be able, because they have to be able to make decisions, they accumulate a lot of information and knowledge that allows them to be able to see 10 steps ahead in your behaviors and how you act and how you present yourself, right? And so they don't want to, their intentions, even if they can be vulgar and blunt and whatever, their intentions isn't to hurt your feelings, right? And so these people would not say what they're thinking, but they'll be like, damn, you are fucking dumb. Right. And that's just their thoughts, right? That's their business. They're not sharing, but they wouldn't do it. And even if they did share it, it would still be in a very soft-spoken, respectable way, you know. If you've ever watched any judge shows, and don't get me wrong, there are some judges that are assholes, but if you've ever watched any of those shows where they have those courthouse rulings and stuff, they'll be looking at this shit like, damn, you really fucked up. But they'll be able to still deliberate an answer to a situation that clearly can be very difficult and still be able to give a ruling. Now, if that person's being an asshole, you'll have some judges that will react, but for the most part, They just be like, "Hey, don't get mad at me because you fucked up your life." You know, and so these are the types of things I'm telling you that is going through a Libra's mind. So, I had to say that to dispel. Um, I hate the way people portray Libras as such these innocent, meek, um, naive, people pleasing energies. Although, either way, I promise you, they are both very true, but you should know both sides. You should. Um, and so, you could be somebody who cares about your well-being and speaking to people in a respectable manner. And you take care of your family in the same way because your mom probably did such for you. Your mom might have dressed well, leaving you to dress well, keeps a nice home, and so you do the same. Um, Now, the very interesting part about all of this, because I feel like, with that whole nicety of Libra energy, as beautiful as that was, um, believe it or not, Libra moons tend to not get along with their moms. I feel like Libras in general typically have pretty shitty relationships with their mother because they tend to see the superficiality side of their mom and they don't see them as being real or authentic. And so this is something that as you grow, learn and evolve, that you kind of break free from. So Libras can tend to be the generational curse breakers in the family, or the first person to do something different outside of what the family typically has done over generations. You're the black sheep of the family. You're, you know, different. You do things very, very different. You challenge your kids to be different from what your mother might have taught you or didn't teach you for that matter. Um, and again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that your mom will teach you through intellect, right? So you got to hear all your mom's woe is me stories about, how badly her mom treated her, and she didn't get along with her sisters if she had sisters, and just the drama that she had to put up with to fight but for justice, to be who she was unapologetically, right? Um, and she might have encouraged you to do the same, even for her. This is somebody that will say, not all the times. Again, it really depends on the aspects. Even if I'm being an asshole, challenge me and tell me that, like, let me know. And a Libra will tell you, I can't promise you that I'm gonna give a fuck about what you have to say, but at the end of the day, what we're not doing is creating that pattern again. They break patterns, right? They break those generational patterns. Um, and yeah, I find that very interesting for some reason. But either way, contrary to popular belief, Libras are very naive at a young age. And so balance and all those, even beauty, these are the ugly ducklings, right? They don't always come out the prettiest cupcakes. At a very early age, they grow into beauty. So these people become really beautiful later on in life. They find balance later on in life, or master balance later on in life, or even master the decency or how to dress, or how to present themselves, and worry about what other people think, to an extent, not for the people pleasing aspect of it, but simply just to be proper, right? Respectable, coof, right? My grandfather used to say that, and he's a Taurus. Um, you're so uncouth, These might be people, actually, that's more Capricorn. I'm going to take that back right now. I'm not even going to finish that sentence, but typically, if Saturn is the person that'll sit down and say, this is how you eat with a spoon, and you don't slouch and you sit up, very properness. That's very Saturn, Capricorn. Um, Libra is the epitome of a well-taught person from Saturn, right? Over time, right? In your older years. These people tend to master those kind of softer skills of Libra, from being naive, from being gullible, and you know, not having or having a not having a lack of direction in life, if you will. Um, these people tend to be in the middle of all their friends' fights. They might be the popular one out of their friends groups, right? Everybody really likes them. They're drawn to them because these people are very charming. Um, and always have like the right words to say. They speak softly, they're very friendly and can come off that way. And so their tens could either tend to ask for a lot of advice, whether alone or within the group. They're the person who's giving advice, right? I mentioned earlier, Libra rules mentorship and counseling, right? These are your natural mentors and counselors, where people tend to come to you for advice or to help you make a judgment call, a decision in some way, shape, or form, right? And so these people tend to are trained at a very young age to listen to both sides of the story anyways, and then they'll make a balanced decision. Well, you was wrong because of this, and you probably shouldn't have been treated like that. You should probably apologize and figure it out from there. Whatever you guys are going to do, just, what we ain't gonna do is keep having this motherfucking conversation, bitch. But then if you catch them one by one, the storyline will go, well, I don't really like so and so. I hate the fact that I have to be her friend, but I don't want to not be friends with you. And so if you're hanging with them, I feel like it's going to be funny if I say I don't come. And that kind of whole situation, Libras tend to get stuck in the middle of that. The interesting thing about that is when Libras are one-on-one in those situations, Libras can tell you, because remember, they're 10 steps ahead behaviorally. They are watching and paying attention, right? Because the customer's always right, right? So these people are, again, very interested in hearing what other people have to say and their opinions and things of that nature. So they know how to cater to that, right? And so um, when you're having that conversation with a Libra one-on-one, they can tell you, oh, I've seen that in them, but this is how I deal with it, right? Because again, that people pleasing or customer service is always right attitude tends to come in and be like, but I get it. Because again, Libras can be assholes, even if it's secretively and you don't know. I'm telling you, we have some very dark thoughts and ideas and perspectives on things. And so we can laugh at that shit, be like, yeah, bitch, I've been there before, in my mind, bitch, in my mind. And so I feel like those are parts of Libra that most people don't discuss that really flipping pisses me off. So this is me rewriting how people see Libras, and why potentially they are really good at being in those positions is because these are the seductress at night. During the day, Libra is all of those nicety things. Come nightfall, bitch, depending on the day and how she feels. This is the seductress. She's going out at night. She's fighting crime. She's, seducing people. These people are not as innocent as most people make them out to be. Um, and fulfilling her desires. Venus is a glutton for fulfilling her desires. And so, because we're talking about the moon, this can definitely only relate to emotional things, but still take into consideration that these possibilities are very real for a lot of Libra moon people. Um, Yeah, so these people are the ones that keep the group together, even if nobody likes each other, which as a Libra rising, it's probably one of the most fucking hilarious things to watch. I was blessed enough to be friends with a bunch of Aquariuses and only one Libra. And if anybody knows astrology, you already know Aquarius is going to play the game 10 toes down. And the Leo's just like, fuck this shit. I don't want to pretend like I like you bitches. Of course, the Libra was the first one to drop the group, right? It's like, where am I getting my fucking fulfillment from, bitch? Bow down, bitches. And Aquarius and Libra, and I'm a Gemini sun, so I fulfill both the air signs, and we're looking at her like, yeah, not in this century. You might want to find a new friend group. No, but TMI, TMI. Um, these people do tend to be the ones to keep everybody together, keep the peace, and if we have stuff, why can't we just talk it out and work it out? Like, why you gotta break up the flow? Like, shit's nice what we got here, but these people can also suppress their emotions. Um, um, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very passive aggressive. And when faced with conflict, this could lead to depression. Um, again, it makes them go inward and really not want to be bothered. Um, they can relate to friends when arguing and helping them understand each other's points of view. They isolate and take time to process things. So a lot of the times when Libra does come out with their judgment or their point of view, it can come out really strong and shock the shit out of people because most people wouldn't assume that a Libra thinks that way, but I'm telling you, fuck around and find out. These people have strong intuition, very self-aware. Um, so much so, again, like I was saying, that when someone or what you're gonna say is gonna offend somebody, right? Because you spend so much time watching people and assessing and analyzing things that it's like, yeah, when I get ready to tell this bitch what I really think, she ain't gonna like it. And so you'll find another route or another way to say it in hopes to keep the peace. On the flip side to that, Libra moons tend to attract narcissistic people. Um, because they come off so super soft and again naive, because they're so focused on keeping the peace. This can get you into a lot of trouble. This is why it's important for you to say how you feel, even if you have to write or through some type of creative talent or something. And it doesn't have to be a talent, just something that you do that helps you release or let that stuff go or get it out. Because then a narcissist will fuck around and find out. And most of them do, unfortunately, but not all of them do. I think Libras tend to stay in unhealthy relationships because of that people pleasing aspect. And they tend to get, there's trauma behind that for the next person and the next person. This is definitely hurt people energy. But not that leaders will hurt them, but they will shut down and close themselves off to being open for that next person or that next relationship. And they can come off as very like quiet, or they'll like bite their nails, super nervous and anxious, um, which is very, very, very unhealthy because most relationships you have to have communication in order for them to work. These people like being close to others. They don't like being single. They need to be around others. These are the people who will defend the underdog. Again, they can sense confrontation and want to avoid that at all costs, but they do like to debate because they're always, again, thinking 10 times ahead. So they will know, they'll have good storylines. They'll know, they'll be ready. They'll be ready for that debate. Healthy debates, though, hopefully it isn't the unhealthy debates because I can't. Yeah, I've literally, whenever I get angry, my favorite saying is, "I'm gonna go take a nap now," because that's how it makes me feel. The thought of having an argument literally makes me want to hide under my bed. But Not to be confused with myself not being able to have an argument, I think is the problem that most people make. It's like you can't treat somebody the same way and not expect them to bite back eventually. So you really have to be mindful on how, this is very judge a book by its cover. Be very, very careful because you don't know what dark thoughts people have. Um, these people are the type of people when they're in relationships that they like to go everywhere with their partner. They give chances and chances and chances in relationships, which is a good and a bad thing. It depends on who you're doing it for. But it can definitely send the wrong signals. And so I feel like relationships, again, is one of those things that even though Libra is a relationship sign, they don't learn this until later in life. They have to go through the bad relationship to get tired so that they can evolve and break free from whatever's holding them back and keeping them back. Um, but on the flip side to that, again, Libras make very good decisions and they always make the right one every time because they're 10 steps ahead. Um, these people, speak to others to get advice. They don't just go off of what they think. These people will listen to other things. These people will go get a counselor or a mentor or seek a guru or take a class or something like that. Like these people seek information in order to not make decisions solely off of only what's in their mind, because they want to make sure they're making the right choice. And so these people will talk to friends too. They'll be like, so I'm going through such and such. What do you think I should do? And even if they don't take your advice, it still helps them decipher on, okay, and this is why I need to make this decision. You know what I mean? Um, duh, 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 duh. These people like harmony in relationships. Um, or harmony in relationships brings emotional fulfillment. These people are very romantic, but not possessive. They don't need to be up underneath you in the same way. Maybe a Scorpio energy can be like, um, they love good company, fairness, and resolving problems, good to talk to. Unfortunately, again, for Libra moons, they are mostly friends with men more so than women because of the relationship they have with their mom. They tend to be able to see the bullshit in other women. And because they tend to work on those things, they grow and evolve. And so they'll typically not have women friends, which is unfortunate, but it can be a very true thing. And again, it's not going to be for everybody. It'll be different for other people, but they love bonding, fashion, acting. These are your designers, models, and they can be into art. But yeah, I feel like I went off on a tangent because I'm a Libra rising, so I have some experience with this energy. But either way, family, don't forget to check out the description box below if you want more information on how to get a reading, how to get your weekly astrology sent to you. I do love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.